All right. Before I start, thank you all for being here. It's amazing that you've chosen to spend time in Miami. I love the way that Miami is going, and thank you to the G2I team and all the sponsors for putting this together. That is a very provocative topic, I guess. And here's the story. I grew up in Cuba. It's 90 miles from the US physically, but mentally it's half a century away. Cars, buildings, appliances, tools, nothing is new, or almost nothing is new. Things break, and they still have to keep working. When you grow up with that, you stop caring so much about what's the latest, what's the new shiny thing, and you start caring about what needs to be made to last. And of course, as an industry, we have this reoccurring theme of new shiny thing. Let's reinvent the thing, this time for real confidence. And I want to put to you this idea of what about if innovation is not about what's newest, and we thought about how to innovate for things to survive for a long time. That's the frame for the talk. Next, I'm going to show you 4.5 years of the code base for my company. I'm the CTO at Extendly. We're a customer platform that supports marketing agencies and their small business customers. We have about 380,000 small businesses that depend on us. We give them support AI, humans to take over when the AI can't resolve the problem, and we do AI implementation for them. And so our monorepo is large. It's about 92 workspaces. It's a turbo monorepo. And I'm going to show you a visualization. I'm giving you this explanation so that if you're listening to the stuff but not watching it, so that you know what's going on. This was November 2021, and what is going on? There we go. We started out in November 2021. It started as a Webpack Create React app with the little API. And over time, as we grew the team and as we grew the application, it just exploded in complexity. If you are not familiar with this type of visualization, this is from Gorse, which is a tool that takes your Git repo history and lets you visualize it. Each dot is a file, lines are folders. The yellow lines, red lines, green lines are files being added, modified, deleted. This is what it looks like as of last week. It's a beast. It's really complex. It has multiple server-side rendered React apps. It has dashboard-like single-page apps. It has an embedded widget that's a guest on somebody else's platform in their WordPress websites and their landing pages. And the way we got there, and we still make it work today, is by treating the platform and how we've built it with this in mind. You start from humble little things, and you compound over time, picking the right things. I've been a software engineer for about 20 years. Started out as a teenager building Visual Basic 6 apps. And over this time, I've come to learn that architecture is rarely shaped by one big decision. In fact, when I've made big one-shot decisions, they've almost always gone wrong. Instead, the thing that works is what survives 1,000 paper cuts. So you got authentication edges and constraints in the host that is running your application, or in our case, where your widget's being deployed. Permissions, support flows, picky customers, partner deals. So we felt like, hey, this is a mess. We should just blank slate, rewrite this thing anew. And if you've dealt with a large system, you probably will have felt like that a couple times. this is the wrong way to think about things. Instead, what we found that worked for us and that I believe works better in most cases is progressive improvement. And the main reason is when you throw the thing away and you start from scratch with a new paradigm, with a new set of design decisions, you're most likely throwing away the scar tissue. And the scar tissue is where the lessons live. By throwing away those lessons, you're resetting things that are implicit in you and your team. Instead, I put it to you that you should try to carry with you the things that work and get rid of the ones that don't. And I call this survival of the fittest pattern. It's not the prettiest thing, it's not the trendiest, it's not what your CEO or your product team went out and saw that was super cool and they wanted you to adopt. Pick the thing that has the highest chances of surviving long term. We do this by preferring abstractions that are openable. Good abstractions will save you time. Great ones will let you escape when they inevitably stop working for your reality. I call this the ethics of escape. Conventions are helpful, cages are not. We want convention over configuration as much as we can until reality disagrees with that. And we want guardrails, not prisons. We want defaults that let you exit them when they stop working for you. When your meta framework or your apps conventions, your router and data, all the other abstractions that you might have put on top fail you, you can count on the web being there and the web being the platform. So we should all embrace the platform, and we should learn to see through the abstractions to what's underneath them. Boxes look fantastic on whiteboards, maybe in slideshows. In the end, our app has many complex surfaces. What worked for us was a core platform that's a modular monolith that has cross-cutting concerns, auth and billing and search and all the things. And then we picked server-side rendered front ends where it made sense. We picked dashboard-like single-page applications, a few sprinkled microservices, and an embedded widget. And that widget is the biggest culprit because it is a guest in someone else's house. So for us, the real fitness function for our technology decisions was this. It should be legible to humans, and it should show a coherent image to agents. It should be sustainable for the people who are going to maintain it. It needs to be affordable over time, and this might be different for you in reality and over time. We're a bootstrap company. We have not raised any money. So there's a huge focus for us in affordability and sustainability. Even if you raise money, you now, congratulations, have a run rate. And you will have to deal with that in its own time. Importantly as well, the technology choices that you make should be adaptable when the realities of your company or industry change. And it should most importantly be aligned with how the business makes money. If you're not a business and you're building it for yourself, then it should be aligned with how you perceive value or your users perceive value. I operate under this idea that technology leadership, whether you're a CTO, a team lead, a coach, is a business function that gets expressed through technical decisions. Your job is not to build the most impressive app or architecture. It is to solve problems for your end users. When you make cheap technical decisions, it often is low cost in the moment, but it costs you the most to live with. Cost is not a snapshot. It will unfold over time. AI is leverage. We love it. I love it. I am token maxing. But outsourcing the thinking is the new technical debt. And I'm not going to touch super deep on this because I think this is a sentiment that you've heard from this stage from so many people. Just be mindful of it. So how do we look at a initiative? How do we look at a technical decision in architecture today? Well, we start humble from small things, expand outward where it made sense, improve progressively. I love the idea of being 1% better every day, every month, whenever you can measure that. It compounds to really amazing things. Try all the patterns that exist. Test them. Let them compete. Figure the one that is the most fit for your reality. Whenever possible, pick abstractions that let you peek under the hood and understand how they're built. For a couple reasons, so that you can change them in the future or extend them. So if that abstraction stops being supported, you're not left holding the bag. Lean on the web platform as much as you can. Pick technologies and make decisions that align with how you perceive value and your customers perceive value. And if you're a business, how you make money. Keep humans in the loop, because as much as I would love AI to do a lot of the things that I don't like doing today, there's a bright future for humans that leverage AI in sensible ways. And then compound on all of these things to build things that survive, things that are optimized for the long term. At Extendly, and in anywhere that I have the ability to have a say, we don't chase Chinese things. That's a lie, we do. But we try not to, very hard. Instead, we do build things with the intention of them lasting a long time, and then improve them along the way. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You can find me on social at that. Thank you. At that username that is super weird and hard to remember, but it spells Cuban sandwiches without vowels. And on the right is my website and my manifesto for Miami as a technology hub. I would love if you give it a read and give me your thoughts. Tag me on socials.